Hello, Unlimited Minds. Just yesterday, one of my coaching clients called me. For a whole week, she was worrying about a mistake that she had made at work. It was a simple little thing that she did, but all week she couldn't sleep. All week her appetite was affected. All week she couldn't go to the gym. She was overthinking it. And I had to explain to her that if nothing's happened, that mistake was not colossal. Nothing's happened. You're still okay. Nobody's fired you. It's okay. That is overthinking. Overthinking is the process of not being able to control your mind. And it always takes us down the emotional scale. The dangers of overthinking are that if you stay low on the emotional scale, it makes a simple situation way worse, because when you're low on the emotional scale, you can only attract those people, things, and events in your life that correspond to a low place on the emotional scale, which is where we never want to stay. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 signs that will help you to identify if you are an overthinker, and then I'll show you what to do about it, how to stop overthinking. Let's get started, and before we get into it, let me do a short introduction for those of you who are new here on my channel. Welcome, I'm Zara Mahoon. I write the blog zmahoon.com. This is my virtual hot seat where I answer questions from my subscribers. Do check out my books on Amazon. I'm the author of 18 books on the subject of law of attraction. And as a result of my online courses and the work that I do, people are able to get unstuck in life and start manifesting the things that they want. I am looking to work with people who are committed to transformation and want more peace in their hearts, more love in their lives, and more money in their bank accounts. Let's get started. So, the very first sign that you are an overthinker, and I know this from personal experience, is that you cannot fall asleep. Because soon as you lay your head down, all the thoughts about what happened during the day and all the things that you could have potentially done differently. I wish I had said that instead of saying that. I wish I had done that instead of doing that. I wish I had done that thing that I haven't done that is going to cost me something. I wish that person had behaved differently. What am I going to do about this bill that I have to pay, or this person that I need to deal with? All those thoughts come rushing into your mind soon as you put your head on the pillow. That is a sign that you are an overthinker. And trust me, I know, because my insomnia was so bad that I would lay down to sleep and I would toss and turn and toss and turn, thinking about all the things that were not done on time, all the mistakes that I had made. I wish I'd done this differently, and all the things that I'm supposed to do the next day. And it was so bad that I would eventually just get out of bed and I would just start pacing the room up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, still thinking about those things and not be able to sleep. And that affected my ability to function the next day. So this is why I had to learn how to actually start getting a good night's sleep, because it gives you mental clarity and physical energy the next day. And I'm going to share with you at the end of this video what I did to stop doing that. All right. So the second thing that I want to talk to you about is people who overthink have difficulty in making decisions, because they're always going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because they're trying to guess which decision is going to give them perfect results in the future. And that's just not possible. There is really no crystal ball that's going to allow you to see all the things that will happen in the future. And that's why we use trust in law of attraction. That's what trust is all about. So the thing to understand is confident people Struggling to make decisions is a sign of lack of confidence. And what I want you to understand is that confident people also don't make perfect decisions every time, but they're just willing to make a decision, because making a decision moves you forward and gives you more opportunities open up for you. So that's why moving forward is so important. So the next thing is, people who overthink are unable to take action. They sit in inaction. They are too afraid to do anything at all. And that prevents them from being productive. It prevents them from being able to achieve their goals. They just get stuck where they are and they can't move forward. And I used to be like that, always changing my mind, or being afraid to take action because I was so afraid of making a mistake. And again, when the thing about law of attraction is that when you start understanding your beliefs and you're able to change them, now you're able to take action from a different place. So it gives you confidence. Number 4, and this one was definitely me. Overthinkers relive their mistakes all the time. Like I've been that person. If I said a sentence in an email, I would keep running that over in my mind all the time. If I was embarrassed because someone said something about me, or one of my children said something that I didn't want other people to know about, my embarrassment was so huge that I would keep reliving it over and over again. And it makes you feel as if you are going to relive this event, and you'll figure out a way to reframe it and present it, a reframed version of it to the world, which is going to save you from the embarrassment. But that's not true. But it keeps you in this cycle of thinking, which is what we call overthinking. Number 5 is that overthinkers are always in a place of asking. And you know, if you've been listening to my channel for long enough, you know that Abraham teaches us that there are 3 steps to manifesting: asking, the universe answers, and then you receive. But if you hold yourself in a pattern of asking, then you never move forward to the other 2 stages, which is where you manifest. So asking, why me? Why did this happen to me? Why isn't this thing that I want, why isn't it happening? These things make us stuck. They are an example of overthinking. I wrote a book called Why Me? So trust me, I know what it means to be an overthinker. Number 6 is that overthinkers zone out. They are so busy thinking about their problems that they are not mindful and they are not present where they are. An example from my own life is that someone would be talking to me and I wouldn't be listening to what they're saying. My mind would be somewhere else. And as a result of that, I would have to ask them, can you repeat yourself? Can you tell me that again? Sorry, I missed that. I wasn't listening. It happened to me all the time in school. I wasn't listening to the lecturer. It happened to me all the time at work. I wasn't paying attention. And then that created fear inside me, because a new fear was born. That because I wasn't listening, I'm now going to make another mistake. And it makes the other person, the person that you're with, it makes the other person feel like you are not respecting them, you're not responding to them, you're not present, fully present for them, and you know that as well. And it takes you down the emotional scale. Lastly, overthinkers, this one, I was the queen of this. Overthinkers read between the lines. Overthinkers are always trying to guess what the other person really meant. And I used to do this all the time. She said that to me, but what she really meant was my boss said this to me, but what he really meant was that he's going to fire me. My boss said that the report I wrote was not up to the level, but what he really meant was he's going to fire me. I used to think like that. So can you see yourself in these situations? Not being able to sleep, not being able to make decisions, not having clarity, reliving, something simple. Like I was eating lunch with my friends and I dropped ketchup on my shirt. And I'm reliving that over and over and over again. Why? Because there was a boy in that group where I wanted to impress him. And so now I was conscious of this. Or I was embarrassed because I did something stupid at work. I tore a document because it got stuck in the photocopying machine, and now I'm reliving that mistake over and over again. And just not being able to focus, my thoughts being somewhere else all the time. So if you resonate with any of these things that I've listed, chances are you are overthinking it. But it's okay, because a lot of people overthink. There's a lot of research in the field of psychology that suggests that 70% of people are zoned out and overthinking 70% or more of their day. We are literally only present when we are doing a task where we will get hurt or make a mistake that will hurt us. Otherwise, we tend to zone out. And this is, so here's what here's the thing that I did for myself that helped me to stop overthinking. And this is so, so, so important. I cannot emphasize it more. When we start being present and we always give our mind a task to do consciously, then our mind does not run off on its own to overthink. Because the problem with overthinking is it feels like we are looking for solutions. So it gives us a false sense of doing something productive. But overthinking is not productive. And so self-reflection or using law of attraction to reflect on what needs to change, that actually leads us to taking action, which moves us forward in life. Whereas ruminating or overthinking on things that we have no control over, a lot of times things that have happened in the past, it prevents us from taking action. It prevents us from moving forward in our life. And that's the difference. That's why overthinking is not a good strategy and it is not helpful. A lot of times we feel that if I just keep thinking of a better way of doing it, then it's going to prevent me from making a mistake. So overthinking can give us a false sense of safety, but it's not keeping you safe. It's keeping you stuck. So here's what I did in order to change all of this for myself. And the one thing that changed everything for me was always giving my mind a task. So I would always, for example, when I'm washing dishes, I am watching something. It can be a serial, it can be a movie, but now I've given my mind something interesting to do, which takes it away from the worry and anxiety of overthinking. Or I watch a documentary, or I listen to an Abraham video, or I listen to someone's motivating, empowering talk, or I'll watch something on YouTube that helps me to learn a new skill. These things are productive because they are actually adding to my skill set. They're actually helping me either learn a skill or they're helping me to think differently. They're helping me to shift my perspective, which enables me to feel more confident moving forward, because now I'm not overthinking everything. So always give yourself a task. And in my coaching practice, I've gone so far as to tell people to use multiplication tables, to do simple mathematics, to count backwards, to count forwards, to count backwards. Because mental math keeps you focused where you are, and it prevents your mind from overthinking, from going away in different directions and overthinking. So multiplication tables are some of my favorite things. Affirmations, repeating affirmations, but also actually thinking of what the affirmation means. Because if you just repeat the affirmation, it's not going to stop you from zoning out. But if you think about the meaning of an affirmation, now you're staying present. Listening to audiobooks, watching documentaries, watching Netflix or Amazon Prime. Not listening to music, because when you're listening to music, it plays in the background and you still can zone out. So you've got to remain present. Doing multiplication tables keeps me present because I have to think about what's coming next. Counting backwards keeps me present because I have to think of the next number. Counting forward, I can do with my eyes closed. It allows me to zone out. But counting backwards, I have to watch myself. Especially if I say I'm counting backwards in 2s or counting backwards in 3s, which is harder than counting backwards in 2s, at least for me. So I hope that you find this helpful. And if you do, please do leave me a comment to let me know that this was helpful. And I'm going to invite you to come back to my next video. Take care in the meantime. Bye for now.